Go.
All right, hello everybody, Chef Nooner here. We're gonna go over some knife basics and safety tips before we get started in the kitchen. So looking at my setup here, I've got a solid wood cutting board that I've gone ahead and secured to my workstation with a wet paper towel. That's gonna make sure that this thing doesn't slide around on me. And it gives me a nice stable work surface. You'll also notice that it's in front of me and it's square. It's not hanging off the edge of the table or onto two workstations. One person, one cutting board, nice and square. From there, we can go ahead and look at our chef's knife or our French knife. For this, we're going to start with the proper grip. For me, I like to go ahead and go with what's called the pinch grip. I'm going to take my index finger and my thumb. I'm actually going to pinch the blade itself right in the center. And then I take those three remaining fingers and wrap them around the blade. That puts me in a nice central position on the blade. Right? Central position is going to give me a good amount of control. What I don't want to do is take one of my hands or my fingers off and kind of point at your food. Food did nothing wrong, so we don't want to point at it. Also, it's kind of just like taking your hand off the steering wheel. From there, we also don't want to kind of hold back here where we don't have that good central grip. So for me, again, right there in the center, pinching the blade itself. It just allows me to wield this thing with some accuracy. From there, we'll worry about your offhand. This is the one, if you're going to cut anything, you're going to cut this one. Out of all of these fingers, the thumb is going to be the most important, what separates us from the animals. So I want to protect that at all costs, kind of like a game of chess or checkers. So I've got my pawns up front. I'm going to go ahead and tuck those fingertips down under, and then the front or the front of my middle finger here is going to kind of act as a guide. And what we want to do is kind of always have the knife in contact with that middle finger. And as long as I don't come up too high like this, which is just awkward, I'm not going to cut myself. Now what will happen occasionally, I don't know if you can get in here, Chef, is occasionally as I'm cutting, I'm going to take that thumb that's behind, and the thumb is going to start to sneak its way from in back up into the front. We want to just avoid that. So we always keep our thumb behind, our knife in contact with these fingers, and the tip of the knife in general is going to stay on the surface of the cutting board. And we're cutting with a two-direction motion, so down and through. That's going to allow your knife to be the most accurate and wieldy. So from there, if I'm done operating on my tasks, I'm going to go ahead and wash my knife. What we don't want to do is pick your knife up and have it loosey-goosey everywhere. What we're going to do is ask you to carry the knife at your side, pointed down away from you. And if you come up behind someone or next to someone, you need to announce your presence simply with the words knife and behind. You don't want to sneak up on anybody with a knife. Over in the sanitation area, we don't leave the knife in the sink. We wash it right away and put it back where we got it. And with those tips, hopefully, you'll have a successful day in the kitchen.